Welcome to the exciting episode of Two Bar Connections of your hosts, Jesse and
James. What's going on, everybody?
What is going on indeed? So today, wow, we have a lot of stuff to go over, man. We have a total of 10, count them, 10 news stories that we have to go over today. And well, to start off, we'll be talking about the closure of Firewalk Studios, which is sad but not unexpected. We also have a story about Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella getting a pay raise after over 2,000 employees have been laid off this year. We also have more WB woes. It seems like after Suicide Squad, they have taken another massive L with the Smash Brothers clone Multiversus, admittedly not doing very well. We also have, unfortunately, games preservationists also taking a bit of an L as the U.S. Copyright Office has denied a claim to exempt them from some circumvention provisions from the DMCA. We also have Ubisoft being a little late to the party with the whole NFT craze, as they have decided to stealthily launch an NFT figurine game. We also have some updates on the Mass Effect TV show, which has been gestating for quite a long time. Also, there is a strike set to happen over at the Life is Strange studios after the Don't Nod, the studio behind Life is Strange, got news that there will be impending layoffs. We also have some Switch updates. Apparently Switch will be backwards compatible, and there are also some other details that have been revealed. And we also have a very important update on the recent update on the Palworld lawsuit, where Palworld developers have confirmed what Nintendo's going to be suing them over. And we also have to cap everything off. Capcom has been taking some big W's as opposed to all the L's that have been going on this year, especially concerning the PC market and concerning Monster Hunter Wilds' astronomical beta numbers. But before we get into all that, how have you been?
Man, it's been absolutely insane. I got a new job, and I will be moving very, very soon. So I know you're happy because you know exactly where I'm moving, and if all goes well, then we can finally not have to worry about internet connections anymore. Let's just put it to you that way. At least when it comes to the podcast recording. What were you gonna say?
It's funny. I was thinking like maybe we can do like live recordings, but like wait, the logistics behind that would be a pain in the ass. Like I still think like what we're doing might still be good, but we just have to worry less about a crappy ass connection.
Yeah, man. You know you're absolutely right. I think it's gonna be fine because I'm actually moving into my grandparents' house.
Really?
So
okay.
Yes. So because I still want to be on my own, and my mom was like, you know what? I don't care. You're gonna be in the same city as me. It doesn't matter.
It used to be a short drive away.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's like 15 minutes, and I only really go over there on days where I'm going to go to work. So it's not a big deal. Like I'm gonna just hang out and then probably just go eat food at my parents' house, bum food off them, and then go to work.
So are your grandparents closer or further from your job?
No, my grandparents are further. So my parents, as you know, are closer to the place that I'm going to be working at.
Okay.
But
'cause they're pretty close. They're very close. Actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they're literally down one of the main streets away. So, and also, and my grandparents, they live essentially next to the airport. So,
okay. Wow. Yeah, that's a ways further away. Holy shit. You really want your independence. You're like, no. I will take the traffic inconvenience.
Trust me, I thought about it long and hard, and yeah, they're oh yeah, you can move at home. And then I heard my sister complaining about the Wi-Fi being bad. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot the Wi-Fi is trashed. All right, no, I'll just take up my own. And plus, I can't rage at games when I go move back in with my parents. I don't think they'll appreciate that. And I've gotten a lot louder because being by myself,
you don't have to.
I don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about quietly raging. So I'll be moving in the next couple weeks. Actually, to be fair, this might be last recording before the move. So there's a chance you actually might take an extended hiatus, ladies and gentlemen, but only by a week. It won't be that big a deal. But yeah, I've just been doing that. I've been dealing with work because they don't want me to leave, and I'm like, guys, I'm fucking gone to management. My friends, though, I'm gonna miss them very well. I'm gonna tell them to come to so I can show them around. Oh, whoops.
It's okay. I'll edit that out.
Thanks.
I'll edit that out. Don't worry.
My bad. My bad.
So
So,
power of editing.
yes, yeah. I saw your face. You're like, oh. My bad. But yeah, so that's been it for me, dude. I've played no games.
Yeah, I know.
No games whatsoever.
You just played nothing.
Nothing. I've not played literally ni pinga. So what about you? How's it been for you?
It's been going all right. Still taking the LSAT prep course, so still going on with that. I got my first practice test back, and I got a 5-point increase, which is good.
Nice.
A lot of people
Congrats.
said that they went like they should say the same, and they actually went down. So I'm happy that at least went up. I mean, granted, my score was such crap, it had to go up. Like there was no other option. It had to go up, dude.
Okay. All right.
But it's slow and steady progress. The next one will be like the end of this month. But I get the feeling that I probably should be picking up the pace on my studies a little bit, because I pretty much just do the homework, and the homework's kind of like the minimum. And like I'm getting the same score on all these homework practices. So like I think I have to pick it up, because like it's not bad. Like if I were to take the test now and I would like answer them like how I answer them on homework, I'd probably do a little better, maybe 152. But I want to get higher than that, right? Because the school I want to go to, it's a median of 160. So at minimum, I want to get 160.
Yeah.
On the LSAT. So, which means I need to increase it by like a whole 8 points, which means I'd have to answer like a good like 10 or 11 more questions to what I'm doing right now.
Okay, that makes sense.
And outside of that, I mean, work is work. Work is work. Can't complain. Just it's just same old boring work. But as for gaming, I finished Metaphor finally. I finally finished Metaphor Refantasio. I finished it on my birthday, actually, the 1st.
Nice. Happy late birthday, by the way, friend.
Thank
I
you.
know I was off by a day, but
you're off by 2 technically. What was it, Sunday? Yeah. No, you're off by
it was November. It was November 2nd. I literally woke up in a sweat, and I was like, but yeah, dude, that's great. How was it a long game? Because I know it's an Atlas.
It's long because I made it long. But I mean, if you just play through the game normally and you don't do what I did, which was like grind in certain spots for like 2+ hours in like almost every other dungeon, right? You can beat the game in like 60 to 70 hours, as opposed to me, who beat it in fucking 90.
Okay.
And the thing is, I was playing on hard, so like that increases the time you play even more, because enemies are much spongier, so you have to grind a little bit more, so that way you don't get your shit rocked as much. And then there's a certain quest line at the end of the game that unlocks like 3 super bosses, and one of the bosses is immune to literally everything except almighty damage. I don't know if you remember what almighty damage was, but it's pretty much the damage.
It's like the final.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate damage type, where like nothing can resist it whatsoever. So the only way you could beat this guy was either by inflicting status effects on him that make him weak to elemental types, or you use almighty damage. And I did not have the setup for it at the time, so I had to grind that tower for like 3 hours, so I can bump up all the archetypes to a level like where I was good at. And afterwards, I smoked him. Like it wasn't that bad. It was just tedious. But once I got it up, it was fine. It's just like when you do that over and over and over again, right? Spend 2-3 hours, right? It adds up, because there's dozens and dozens of dungeons. So you keep doing that. Eventually, you're gonna reach a point where it's like, oh, this 70-hour game turned into a 90-hour game.
And like, Jesus Christ, what? Like, where has the time gone?
Yeah, I know exactly. I mean, I'm glad I finished it. And I will move on to other games, but for right now, I'm just back on Overwatch. It's like my in between game right now.
I know, and we were supposed to play yesterday, but we never got the chance to.
Maybe we'll have a chance afterwards.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
Well, I mean, it's early. It's only 5:45 Eastern, so.
Yeah, but I know, like I said, that they called me yesterday and they're like, "Oh, you want to get flex tonight?" And I'm like, "No, dude, flex me like my last day of work." So they were supposed to flex me today, but then my charge nurse that's back today, he kind of, I was like, "Hey, they're gonna attempt to flex me tonight," and he gave me that look of like, no. I'm like, wait, what? Why? So like, yeah, we only have like 9. We only have 9 people. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, the 9 I want to get flexed. So there's a really good chance we have to put Overwatch on hold yet again.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm sorry,
but yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. So for Metaphor itself, it's a great game, man. It really is a great game. I highly recommend it. If it wasn't for the fact that Rebirth was like one of the greatest games I've ever played in my life, and like almost made me cry man tears,
oh my god,
this would have been my game of the year, and I can totally see why so many people are saying this is game of the year. It totally deserves at the very least a nomination. There's nomination for like game, story, RPG, style, like those 4 categories at least. It definitely deserves it. Another thing I really liked about the game is like by the end, it has such a like an uplifting message, and it's so timely given the election times that we're in now and the results that we've seen. I'm not gonna get political, man, but like it's just it's so timely. It's just you need something like this, depending on what side of the fence you are. You need a game like this with the kind of message and ending that it has. It's very positive with its message, but it's also like not naive. It has an earnestness to it, and it's very positive, but it's not naive to the point of being like stupid, right? It's like, okay, like we can make progress, but like progress is going to take a lot of work, and it's not going to happen overnight. It acknowledges that there are systemic issues with society that need to be fixed before we can actually start making progress, and fixing those systemic issues alone is going to take time.
Yeah,
and progress is just very slow, painfully slow. It's
too
great.
Slow.
Yeah, but it's great when you have a game that acknowledges that. Like it's funny because like it's political, but it's not political at the same time. It doesn't feel political in the way that would turn off most people, because it's very broad with its. Like I don't think anybody would disagree with how the game handles its politics.
Okay, that's fair.
Because it's so broad. It's not like for like a specific niche of people. It's very broad. It's something that anybody can agree with. Great game. Great game overall.
Great game. 10 out of 10. Everyone should play it.
Yeah, everybody should play it. And I've also decided to play. So on Halloween, the remaster for Shadows of the Damned came out. Ooh. And Shadows of the Damned is, well, it's a game you probably don't know because no one fucking played it.
No, I saw you. Yeah, I saw you playing it, and I was like,
oh. No one played this game, dude. So this is a game that came out in 2011. Let me pan over. There's a game that came out in 2011, and it's like, as you can see, like it's kind of like a Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 4 like clone. At least it seems that way, right? Which is unsurprising because it had Shinji Mikami involved, but it also had a guy by the name Suda51. And for those of you who don't know who Suda51 is, he is the creator of games like No More Heroes and Killer 7, which are really weird and experimental games. And they're also kind of silly games, at least in No More Heroes' case. So this game, like, it looks kind of like dark and serious now, but no, this game is very, very, very unserious. See, as you can see, right, real.
Yeah.
So imagine Resident Evil 4, but there's a dick joke like every like 5 minutes, right? So as you can see here, so like Garcia, the protagonist, calls the villain a dick, but it's spelled D-I-C-K, tater. So this is the opening level where they talk about like the demon lord's name is Fleming. It's like, oh yeah, Fleming's like a really horrible, like he just punishes anybody that he wants just for fun. And Garcia just goes like, wow, he sounds like a real dick. Tater. So stuff like that. Our sidekick, who's a little torch you carry, his name is Johnson. And he transformed into a giant gun called the Boner. And then later on you get an upgraded version of it called the Hot Boner. And then you get a alternative fire, which lets you fire out sticky bombs. So Johnson says, all right, hit him with your hot sticky stuff.
Oh my lord.
So yeah, definitely game doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's a really great, breath of fresh air to play a game like this that's, well, for starters, short, but also doesn't take itself seriously. It's a very focused game. I know we've been talking about this a lot this year. Like we need smaller games that are more focused, because there's too many games that are like way too big and trying to do way too many things at once, and as a result, they cost way too much fucking money. They usually don't appeal to everybody because they tried to appeal to everybody and they appeal to nobody. Yep. And then who suffers for it? Developers end up suffering for it. Oh yeah, and the source of light in the game is our goat heads, because there's a interesting thing about this game, like, outside of the humor and the presentation for it. It's like a light dark mechanic where like if you're in darkness, you start to lose health, right? But weak points can only be shown in darkness sometimes. So certain enemies, like you can only see their weak points in the darkness. So like you have to go into the darkness and you have to like you have a limited number of time before you start taking damage. You have to like get as many shots as you can and then leave out. And then there are like puzzles in the game where you have to enter like dark areas and like look for the goat heads and like light them up so that way you can proceed through the level. But there's also like trap doors and stuff that you have to like activate and stuff like that. So it has a really good balance of like the light and dark mechanic because it's just it helps mix things up between the combat because the game would be kind of boring, but it's just shooting. Oh, and also speaking of shooting, one other thing, there is one section of the game that takes place so the game takes place in Hell, and eventually you go to what's the equivalent of Hell's red light district.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
and well, you get chased by these giant demons, and in order for you to deal with the giant demons, you have to call the phone sex line there, so then that way Johnson can talk to the operator, and then he gets so turned on, he turns into a giant 10-foot tall gun called the Big Boater. And you eventually enter a turret section, pretty much, where you shoot these giant demons with like your giant 10-foot gun. Like that.
My god, dude.
And Garcia every 2 seconds is going, taste my hot boner! He just shoots. And yes, it looks just as suggestive as you would think.
When did this game came out again?
2011.
2011? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So yeah, this is during that time, like before developers gave a fuck. So
yeah.
They was like, we're just going to put whatever crass 2.0 nonsense we're going to put in our game. We don't care about the quorums, just fuck it.
We got to go back, man.
I mean, it also doesn't help that it's Suda 51. Like if you've played any of his games or you've seen cutscenes for like No More Heroes, yeah, you'd see that this guy likes writing silly shit. Because almost all his games are fucking silly, or they're really experimental, or both. So yeah, definitely really do recommend this game. It's very short. It's only $25, and it is like 7 hours, but there's some replay value of the achievements and stuff. And the game's pretty fun. They added a new game plus for the game. And as far as remaster goes, it's unfortunately a little bit bare bones because there's actually no graphical options. Like it's straight up like a 360 port almost. Like it's like. Sorry, hold up.
Oh, you're good.
Always gas every goddamn episode. So like, there's no graphical options. Like the resolution is that. The frame rate is locked at 60, so you can't like change it around at all. You can't change like anti-aliasing or anything like that. Or lighting, it's all fixed. So it's straight up like they got the 360 game and just ported it and then just let's get the graphics a little bit. But if you haven't played the game at all, it's really fun. It's a very, very fun game, very funny. As Garcia and Johnson, I think have great chemistry with each other. The combat's fun. The puzzles are interesting with the light and dark mechanic, and the game does a good job at like mixing things up. Between like the turret section I mentioned earlier, there's also like a side-scrolling section where like you get thrown into like a storybook, and like you have to fly around and like shoot like a side scroller style. So lots of variety, really fun game. And I mean that's pretty much been it.
Thanks. I guess we've both been busy. Very well, I mean good busy. Yeah, hopefully we can play some stuff again, especially with Overwatch because you
got to try out Juno, dude. She's so fun. I think you'd really like her.
Yeah, you told me, and you know what? I am going to definitely.
All right.
Alrighty then.
So, you ready to talk some news?
Yeah, let's do it because we have a lot.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff to go through.
we have a lot.
So, for our first order of news, we have the untimely but unsurprising closure of Firewalk Studios. So, as of October 29th, according to this article, which is according to a Bloomberg report by Jason Schreier, Firewalk Studio has been officially closed by Sony. And I think Firewalk was acquired in about like 2020, I believe. 2023. Wow, I was way off. So in 2023, they acquired Firewalk Studios, who were developers of the much maligned Concord, right, which is a game that pretty much the entire gaming community rejected soundly, as it only made a measly 700 concurrent players on Steam, and we don't know how many players there have been on PlayStation, but according to analysts, the game sold less than 2,000 copies, or 20,000 copies, I'm sorry. So obviously, the game was a massive financial and critical flop. But not only did Firewalk Studios get closed, but also a studio by the name of Neon Koi, which, for those of you who don't know, they're a mobile studio that was acquired by Sony in 2023 of November. So pretty much this time last year. And they were meant to make mobile games for Sony, but they have unfortunately also been closed down. And specifically for Firewalk Studios and Concord, well, I mean, we talked about it a lot. Like Concord, it just wasn't a good game, right? Didn't have good character designs. It was entering a highly saturated market with the hero shooter genre, which is already, you know, filled with competition. Apex Legends, Overwatch, Valorant.
And I mean, I don't even know if you would classify it as a hero shooter, but Deadlock by Valve.
Marvel Rivals is right around the corner.
That too, yep. Super saturated.
And so the thing they all have in common is that those games were all free to play. And Concord, Sony had the wise idea of releasing it for $40. So you had to pay for the game, which also had microtransactions in it. You had to pay for the game that you weren't going to really like, probably. And yeah, and here we are now with them being closed. Concord has been closed also. It didn't even survive 2 weeks.
No, it did not. In fact, it failed quicker than any of us expected.
Yeah, because we all gave it months, right? And it didn't even last weeks. It barely lasted 2 weeks, which is amazing. But to that effect, so Studio Business Group CEO Herman Hulst of Sony released a statement, you know, saying, you know, a bunch of corporate stuff, whatever. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. It's a very long statement.
A bunch of corporate stuff.
Okay. But I'm just gonna pull some quotes from here. So he says that while mobile remains a priority growth area for the studio business, we are in the very early stage of our mobile efforts, and they say that they want to release titles that are more in line with the PlayStation Studio pedigree. So with this refocused approach, Neon Koi will be closed and their game will not be pushed forward. Okay, and then Firewalk. Okay, so this one was interesting. So regarding Firewalk, certain aspects of Concord were exceptional. But others did not land with enough players, and as a result, we took the game offline. After much thought, we have determined the best path forward is to permanently sunset the game and close the studio. I want to thank all of Firewalk for their craftsmanship, creative spirit, and dedication. The PvP first-person shooter genre is a competitive space that's continuously evolving, and unfortunately, we did not hit our targets with this title. We will take the lessons learned from Concord and continue to advance our live service capabilities to deliver future growth in this area.
In their next potential failure, Fair Games.
Oh, yes, that's right. I always forget.
The only reason I remember is because I saw a video by Fleekazoid on Payday 3 and how trash it was. Mm-hmm. And I think he mentioned that game in an off comment. So that's the only reason I know. It was brought recently to my attention. And that's the only way that name made it to this episode.
Okay, yeah, because I really forgot. I keep forgetting, and I'll probably still forget next time you bring it up.
Indeed.
Yeah, rest in peace, Firewalk. Rest in peace, Concord. I mean, I hope the developers find other jobs somewhere else, right? Because the design of the game was really bad, but these guys are like ex-Bungie people and ex-Blizzard people, I think is what it consists of. So like clearly like they're talented, but they just were misdirected, right? The direction of the game was just way off, right? Way off. Did not resonate at all. So hopefully with they find jobs of people who can make better decisions.
I'm going to.
All right. So any comments on this? I mean,
no, man. I mean, yeah, we made a bad bet, and the studio we bought will pay the price, and we will not. And we'll see you again when we do this for the umpteenth time. Tales all this time, dude.
Yeah, $200 million down the drain. Although, funny enough, we don't have an article on this for this episode, but I did read earlier that Sony actually did report a positive earnings report despite Concord, and apparently they cited Black Myth Wukong as like a big seller. Like really helped them out. So,
damn,
hey, man, that's good for Sony, right? $200 million down the drain, and they still were able to make a profit.
Yeah, but then this gives them confidence that they can do this shit again.
Well, no, I think no. this is still going to be a scar on them. This is in spite of the failure. I think they're at least smart enough to recognize that when you can't even muster up 700 people to play your game, that you fucked up really bad.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll take your word for it.
I think you can't be that stupid. They're stupid, but like that's like, come on.
Right, dude. Okay. All right. Okay.
That's
Well,
like
you know what? No, they are stupid because their fucking live service failure, their live service games are failing, and their response is, "Oh, we're gonna keep trying live service."
Well, I mean,
especially with this heist game that they're gonna do, they're gonna try it again, and oh my god, I hope they fail. I really hope it fails because it feels like they don't want to learn at all from this, and I don't think they're not going to, and I don't think they want to.
Well, Helldivers is good.
Again, but that was, oh my god, the name of the development studio, Arrowhead. That was all them. Sony, this was literally their B team. They did not think this was gonna do much. The developers didn't think it was going to do much, and it was only when it started to become a phenomena that they decided to pay attention to it, and then they started fucking it up for Arrowhead.
Oh, the PSN. No. I mean, well, the balancing stuff was also crap too. That was all Arrowhead though. That was not.
Yeah, I know, but at least eventually that can be fixed. But again, the PSN is really what killed a huge majority of the game. Well, what killed the game for a majority of people. So no, they are stupid. They've been shooting themselves in the foot all year.
Oh, I'm saying that's stupid. I know they're stupid. I'm just saying they're not that stupid. Like, there's a difference between like negative $1 million HQ and like $1 million like 900. I'm saying they have $1.9 million. not negative $1 million. They're still stupid, right? But
yeah, well, let's see where it goes. But yeah, I got nothing else to say.
Okay, all right. I mean, well, there isn't much to say about it because we've talked about this a lot. Game sucks. Games like really fucking sucks, and the metrics woefully underperform, and so naturally, they get closed, just like how we all thought they would. It's just surprising that it happened so fast.
Yeah,
and at least they had the. I mean, it sounds kind of messed up, but at least they had like the decency to understand that this is gonna work no matter what. Let's just not drag this out at all. Let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, smart.
Because that's what needed to happen. So next story here. So this one's gonna be a little bit more of a doozy. So we have Microsoft, right? So we're hopping over the fence from Sony over to Microsoft. So Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella apparently made a whopping $79 million in the 2024 fiscal year. And this comes just after Microsoft laid off over 2,000 employees across multiple divisions, multiple studios they own, like Activision Blizzard, ZeniMax, and Xbox Studios itself, which also included the closure of beloved studio, Tango Gameworks, and
attempted closure. Yes, they tried, but they failed.
Well, they did close it. It got revived. That doesn't mean they got closed.
Technically, they failed. It's still alive.
It's still alive. So they closed Tango Gameworks, which made the much beloved Hi-Fi Rush, which is a game that we will always love on this podcast. Made our top games of the year from last year. And well, people are wondering, like, man, like this sounds kind of crazy. Like, how do you end up with $79 million? Well, apparently, according to Steven Totillo on his game file, which can't really read from full because it's subscriber based, but Vice here does have a summary of it. And reportedly, a lot of this money comes from Microsoft's overall performance that apparently Nadella's income is tied directly to it. Mm-hmm. And quoting from the article, Totillo's article, it says, the vast majority of performance payment comes in stock tied to 4 or 5 specific Microsoft business metrics. They change each year and payouts are calculated based on an average of how well the various targets were hit or missed over a 3-year stretch. So, another interesting thing to point out. So, in an article from BBC, apparently this $79 million represents a 63% pay raise from last year. He made a whopping, $49 million last year. And this year he gets to make $79 million after he lays off all the people responsible for so much of the success at Microsoft. And this apparently comes after he asked for a reduction. I'm going to use air quotes here because apparently there were some cybersecurity breaks over at Microsoft in 2023 where hackers managed to gain some email accounts for 25 organizations, including some government agencies. Apparently it's from China, but China's like, nah, not us, bro. But sure. And well, what did that asking reduction amount to? Well, it amounted to 5.2 million, or less than 7% of his total pay. Wow, good guy Nadella, man. Not taking $5 billion. It's okay. He's only taking 79 million, not 84. What a good guy, huh?
Personal sacrifice, people. What a guy.
Oh man. So, what are your thoughts?
Fuck Microsoft. like fuck them.
What did we say? Fuck Matt Booty. Fuck Phil Spencer.
And now fuck, what's this guy's name?
Nadella? Satya Nadella.
Satya Nadella. Yeah, fuck you too, buddy. Oh man, we gotta lay off. It's so bad. We can't pay our workers. Also, we made record profits for the 5th year in a row. That makes no fucking sense at all.
Yes, they did report a 16% increase in their revenue as of June 30th, 2024.
No, man, it's just more of the same shit, except this is the company as a whole instead of just specifically Microsoft Gaming.
Oh, yes, and also one other thing. According to Tillo, their strategy moving forward is going to be mostly focused around Game Pass and multi-platforming. So,
all right, so multi-platforming makes sense. You reach a wider audience, but Game Pass, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, barely Game Pass has been doing pretty well, and with Call of Duty, their numbers rose by like a lot.
So, do you think Game Pass is going to be viable? It's going to be viable going forward.
Well, I mean, for now, but eventually you're going to hit a glass ceiling, dude.
Yeah.
Even COD can only bring you up so much, and I mean, there's only so many studios you can acquire. that'll boost Game Pass numbers on the level of Call of Duty. Yeah. In fact, pretty much Call of Duty is the only thing that could probably, unless you somehow buy 2K and get Grand Theft Auto and put it on Game Pass, there's literally nothing you can buy that will increase your Game Pass numbers in the level of Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. And even Call of Duty will have diminishing returns eventually.
Of course. Again, just the core problem, as we've outlined, is just make good games. Just make good games that are not Call of Duty, that are not annual releases or now semi-annual, because now they're releasing Call of Duties more spread out. But yeah, just make good games. Make games that people actually want to play, and then you can worry about the rest of the shit later. Because how many games are on Game Pass?
A lot. I don't know. It constantly shifts.
And
it's like Netflix. Like every time I see so many articles like, oh, these 10 games are now leaving Game Pass. Oh, these 10 games are now entering Game Pass. Like you got to keep up with it like you would with Netflix or.
Yeah, but if you were to give me a rough estimate.
Hundreds
of games?
There's hundreds of games, if not thousands.
All right. Of course. And you know what? And there's a law that there's only going to be a few select games that are actually good. Because after all, Back 4 Blood was on Game Pass, but that was a shitty game, and there's probably a lot more like it. So out of 100, how many games would you say are actually good? I know there's not 100, but I'm just doing it because it's an easier number to work with stats-wise.
Well, I mean, you're getting, sure, like there may be a lot of crappy games, but you're still only paying, like $20, $25 a month to gain access to a bunch of crappy $60. I mean, you'll still have some good ones, right? Like Call of Duty, all people say it's a good game, and you can either pay $70 for it, or you can pay $25 and just play it as much as you want, along with a ton of other games that are probably pretty good.
Yeah, I just think they still need to make games that people actually want to play. And yeah, Call of Duty technically, but you want the library to be so well curated that it doesn't matter what people pick, they're gonna like they're gonna like it a lot. So, and they have a whole bunch of game studios, so they have the ability to stock their own library with good content.
Yeah, I think that is their strat going forward. They do not care about the hardware anymore.
Yeah, but they keep making shit games. But but whatever.
Yeah, it's the same song and dance. We made a ton of money, so unfortunately we have to fire you all. And by the way, I'm gonna get a 63% pay raise.
But as opposed to 70, because I'm a good guy.
Yeah, right. See, accountability. I'm only gonna not take $5 million out of the $79 million I'm already taking, which is an increase from the $49 million I took last year. All right, so very, very frustrating news. But let's move on because we still got a lot of stuff to cover.
Yeah, we do.
And this one is something you're covering.
Oh yes, indeed, because we got more shit CEOs mismanaging their companies.
Right. So
all right,
what's next?
Sorry, I was waiting. So, WB taking another L, or well, adding to the millions of L's that they've taken, little L's. Warner Brothers admits that Multiversus has underperformed, contributing to yet another $100 million lost in revenue in its game business. So, how much was Suicide?
It's a $200
Oh my
million
lord!
loss.
Excuse me. Thank you. Oh, Suicide was 200 million.
Yeah, it's $200 million loss.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was another 100. So far, so according to the math, just between Suicide Squad and Multiverses, they have taken a $300 million hit to their games business. So, Multiverses, it's been a game that's been out for a while. How long would you say it's been out for? Like 3 years?
So the interesting thing about this game is that it came out in beta for a while. I think.
Okay. I didn't know it came out in beta.
Yeah, during like 2021, I believe. But they were still selling like battle passes and stuff for it.
Oh, jeez.
Even though it was in beta, and
Yep,
then
we know how that.
and then eventually the game became really successful in beta, but it couldn't keep up with the demand. A lot of people were like saying, "Hey, these things aren't being updated fast enough characters. You're charging us all this stuff anyways, even though it's in beta, but you're not doing enough." So they took it on hiatus, and they're like, "Okay, well, we're gonna relaunch it later on down the line, and it'll be revamped. We're gonna look at our business model and see how we can apply it, whatever." The problem is that kind of took out a lot of the momentum for the game had.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like a lose-lose situation because it was like, okay, keep doing what we're doing, but we keep bleeding players because we can't keep up demand, or we try and relaunch and generate some more hype around it. And that's always a gamble, right? When you try and relaunch it with some renewed hype. It worked out for like Final Fantasy 14. It worked out for like No Man's Sky, but those are exceptions to the rule. It almost never works out.
Those are clear exceptions.
And so in this case, clearly, they took $100 million hit.
Yeah, but when you put it in that context, it actually is pretty unfortunate because the company, or the game rather, has underperformed, and like I said, $100 million down the drain for this game. And which is sad because, as you said, and it even says it in the article, it did relaunch on PS4, PS5, PC, like all the updated hardware. And Warner Brothers even went so far as to actually buy the developer, Player First Games, because they really thought that they had a good hit on their hands. But a recent financial call actually said that they're actually underperforming, and well, they're pretty they're unimpressed with it, especially now that their new game, the Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, is failing to make an impression. It seems that they don't have like that game to really make it for them.
Yeah, it's been kind of like Hogwarts Legacy, and that's it, man. That's like the only been.
Yeah, but that was.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's still part of the same fiscal year.
Oh, okay, yeah, same fiscal year, yeah. But so they've had that, and then everything else has been either lackluster or just outright failure. Like Suicide Squad, Multiversus is just like in lackluster, and of course the Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. And now, what was the 24-hour peak for the game?
The 24-hour peak currently is 1757.
Right? 17, yeah.
So, I mean, that's not awful, but that's definitely not enough to support a live service game. That's not the kind of numbers you want to see.
Yeah, it's not exactly a number that you want to see. So, they're not at all hitting the numbers that they want. And in fact, actually, it leads into this next article from GameSpot, how Warner Brothers Games CEO specifically, that they pronounce it
Zaslav.
Zaslav, yeah, is blaming the lack of consistency in games. Like, he doesn't understand why you can have a really, really good high performing game like Hogwarts Legacy and then just release crap afterwards. In the vein of Suicide Squad. Specifically, he believes that the company is underperforming its potential, and they need to address the inconsistency within their own studios. He also added that their game revenue has declined 31% between July and September when compared to last year when they released Mortal Kombat, and also when they released Hogwarts Legacy as well.
And also to throw in another L into the basket of L's that W's collected. Yeah, remember that Joker Folia dude also bombed the shit.
No. They didn't bomb. They got morbed. Okay.
Well, it morbed the shit out of itself, and it went to pay on demand like a month after the movie came out.
Yeah.
And it also cost reportedly hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, dude. It was another like huge budget movie that failed spectacularly to even make back its to break even. So Warner Brothers has been having issues all across with their game studios, and now with the new Joker movie, they've been failing in the movie business as well. Well, I mean, they've been failing. Like that was the one movie that they made that kind of revitalized it. Oh, and also the Batman as well, like the original Joker. Those one-off or separate universe Batman-esque movies with Batman characters. But this one was pretty crap. So they're kind of in the red right now. So far, 300 million just in the games business. I'm sure it's more or less the same, if not more, for the movie business. But they're looking ahead. I mean, they are making a sequel to the Hogwarts Legacy, and they're going to possibly tie it into the Harry Potter TV series, according to the article.
Yes, and they also mentioned previously in IGN that they're going to be focusing on more Hogwarts Legacies, obviously, because that game sold 30 million copies, which is a fucking astronomical amount. Focus on Mortal Kombat because Mortal Kombat games are always successful. Focus on Game of Thrones, and also DC, in particular, Batman. So those are going to be their 4 core tenets going forward.
Also, there is a Wonder Woman game being made at Monolith Productions.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, all we've seen is like a CGI trailer of the game. No gameplay, just like it's just one of those vague announcement type trailers. Mm-hmm. But it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'd be down for a Wonder Woman game. That sounds cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually want to know what the hell it plays like.
I would be down for a Superman game, but they won't make it. But yeah, so Warner Brothers has been taking some L's. However, they do say that, they got some stuff in the works that will hopefully buck the trend and turn things around, at least in terms of their games business. As far as their movies, well, actually, they're doing pretty good with their movies. I have not seen The Penguin yet, but I hear it is a masterpiece of a television show.
Oh, yeah. Everyone has been saying it's great. I haven't watched it at all because I just don't watch TV that much, but I might give it a watch. I don't know when, because there's a lot of TV shows I got to watch, but that could be cool. Yeah, everyone's saying it's like one of the best shows out right now.
And they were all confused too. They were very confused as to why they would make a show, and then people watch and they're like, oh, it's actually pretty dope. So they have a lot of stuff in the works. They show a lot of promise. They just, they need to bring some of this into fruition. I think if they can succeed without using Batman, they would do much better. But of course,
and Batman's a guaranteed moneymaker, man. Everyone loves Batman.
Batman sells. Actually, there was another article, just to kind of hit on it, that Warner Bros. Hits at more Batman as part of its new game strategy. It's in that article if you scroll down a bit.
Yeah, it said specifically Batman. It said DC, in particular Batman.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. As far as the Warner Brothers story, you have anything else to add to it?
I mean, get your shit together, man. WB's been fucking up for so long.
Yeah.
It's been like between them canceling movies that are already done, like Batgirl, canceling movies that are apparently really good and have really unique, like Coyote versus Acme, which sounded really awesome, and they just went, nah, fuck it. But then they go on to release bullshit like Suicide Squad and Joker Folia Do. It really makes me question like the decision making here. Like what is going on? Like, why did Joker Folia Do cost $200 million to make when the first movie cost, I think, $70 million?
It was made on. I mean, I'm just using it as a term, but it was literally made on an indie budget compared to other big studio.
Well, I guess like in comparison, yeah. I mean, that's not really an indie budget. It's more like moderate, right? That's a modest budget by Hollywood standards.
Yeah,
but like just because you made $1 billion off one movie doesn't warrant a 2.5% increase of the budget, right? Especially when your movie amounts to pretty much nothing more than like a court drama with some musical number segments thrown in. Musical number segments that everyone says sucks anyways. Like, they're not even good. They're like, what the fuck is this? Why are we doing musical stuff?
So Joaquin Phoenix can't sing, is what you're saying? We shouldn't invite him.
Apparently,
To
he can't sing, but he just sings badly in that movie.
Oh,
Like I think I think he actually does music, but like, and he can't sing.
wow.
It's just
Okay.
it just sucks. Like whoever directed and choreographed, the music numbers, they just didn't do a good job at it. And we all know Lady Gaga can sing, right?
Oh, I mean, I know that. Actually, I feel bad for her. She, in an interview, was actually hoping that this movie can get her an Oscar nomination.
Oh my god, she already got a nomination. What are you talking about?
I don't know what to tell you. I guess she saw the first Joker movie and was like, "Oh, I can get an Oscar for this, no problem. All I gotta do is just, sing." But alas. Well, to be fair though, a lot of people say I haven't seen it, but a lot of people say that the best parts of the movie were actually Lady Gaga's performance as well as Joaquin Phoenix. It's just the movie itself was trash. Like as far as the story, it was so garbage.
Yeah, I know.
But that yeah. So, but apparently she did a good job as far as the acting. So maybe one day if I drink enough beers, I'll watch Joker. Fully I do.
Yep. Drink some beers, roll up some fat ones.
Fat ones. Hey, you know what? Cigars, man. I'm gonna get some.
Yeah.
Cigars.
Oh, dude, we gotta do. I forgot. We gotta do cigars.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh shit! I forgot. Oh, completely forgot about that.
I'm gonna actually get myself a little humidor for the house.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna do it too much though.
I don't know what that is, but that sounds good.
Humidor. Humidor. Yeah, it's essentially a fancy container, like a humidified chamber that houses cigars because they need to be kept at a certain humidity because if not, they get ruined. So it's literally called a humidifier, a humidor.
Oh, okay.
It's funny because it's you say it like a Cuban. Well, I mean humidor. But all right, next story. Sorry, I'm digressing way too much.
All right, so for our next story here, we have some very sad news regarding games preservation. So apparently there's been a 3-year fight by the Video Game History Foundation that has been petitioning for the U.S. Copyright Office to give them a DMCA exemption for libraries and researchers to remotely share digital access to preserved video games. Essentially, emulations, right? So like libraries and museums can possibly have emulated versions of games that are old and most likely no longer in print versus having to hunt down a probably very expensive and very rare hard copy of it.
Yeah.
And it appears that fight has come to an end, and unfortunately the Copyright Office has denied their request. And yeah,
That's
apparently
sad.
it's very sad that, you have a lot of games out there that people don't have any access to whatsoever. And libraries and museums would be a great opportunity for them to provide access to those games. And I mean, according to VGHS themselves, around 87% of all video games released in the US before 2010 are now out of print, which I think is something we covered a while ago, that like most games, you can't buy them anywhere, like literally at all. So your only options are get them digitally, hope that the IP owners like decide to re-release the game, or you hunt down on a copy on eBay and pay like $1,000 for a copy, or you emulate it. Or education software, as we like to say. And it seems that, I mean, if it's a museum, obviously it's education software. So, but apparently the Copyright Office doesn't see it that way. According to them, the register concludes that proponents did not show that removing the single-use user limitation for preserved computer programs or permitting off-premises access to video games are likely to be non-infringing. She also notes the greater risk of market harm of removing video game exemptions premises limitation given the market for legacy games.
Yeah.
And this kind of lines up with what the ESA, the Entertainment Software Association industry lobby, have said, where they said, there would be a significant risk that preserved video games would be used for recreational purposes. Oh, wow. God forbid video games be used for what they're fucking designed for.
Wait, you broke up a bit. Sorry, say it again?
Yeah. According to the ESA, there would be significant risk that preserved video games would be used for recreational purposes.
What?
Yes, I think this article puts it pretty well. We cannot, of course, entertain the notion that researchers enjoy their subjects for even a moment. God forbid video games be used for fun.
This is an Onion article. I don't believe that. No, it's Games Radar. What the fuck, man? Are you kidding me right now?
Yes.
Of course, it's used for recreational purposes. That's the. Oh my god.
Never mind the fact that most libraries or many libraries and museums already have digital versions of traditional media like books and movies, which are also used for recreational purposes.
This fucking sucks. You know what? Who cares, guys? If you want a game that badly, just go out and get it. Just you need to educate yourselves properly.
It's okay. We all have our own education software available on tons of wonderful education software websites.
Yes, because we believe in an educated America. By damn, we're gonna make sure it happens.
Yeah. And then what was it? Oh yeah. Greater risk of market harm from removing the game exemptions premises limitation given the market for legacy games. Okay, dude, but like, not every game is getting released, and every legacy game, is being released, right? I can't access, what's this game? Like Shinobi the PS2, right? A game I really like. I can't get it anywhere, right? I'm pretty sure you can't. Maybe like on PlayStation Network, and that's about it. And I think you have to get like you have to go like the PS3 store, I think, for that. I don't know if it's on like PS5 or whatever. But like, I want to get a hard copy for it. I have to pay a lot of money. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is also a great example because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for a long time was gone. It was delisted back in like the 2010s. And there was no way to get your hands on it unless you got a physical copy on eBay, which was going for hundreds of dollars. And it wasn't until recently when they finally decided to release it. But like, imagine if they didn't release it, right? Because from what I've heard, it was pretty much impossible because, at least according to Maximilian Dude, who's a big Capcom streamer, and like, he has a lot of insider information, and he pretty much said like, yeah, like it's impossible because like the rift between Capcom and Disney is just, or Marvel, is like way too big. Like they've kind of burned the bridge there, and somehow they managed to rebuild it, even though it was like, as he says, a 1 in 14 million whatever chance. Whatever Doctor Strange said when he said, I looked into 14 million possible futures, right? So it was like nearly impossible. And that reality, like Marvel vs. Capcom is the exception. Most games will fall under that, right? Another example, Nobody Lives Forever, which is a game made by Monolith, which is like it's like if you played an female Austin Powers, like it takes place in the 60s, and it has like the Austin Powers vibe where it's like 60s hippie spy stuff, and it's a really fun and goofy game made by Monolith. But they don't own the IP. And I remember reading like an article a while ago that actually no one knows who the fuck owns the IP. Night Dive Studios tried to actually make a remaster for it, and they couldn't find the IP owner for it. They found someone who might have been the IP owner for it, and they said no, even though like they don't even know if they own it, and they're not going to do anything with it. So it's like, what? How do you expect people to play this then?
This is just a fucking mess, dude. Yeah, I mean, listen, they try to do it the legal way, but I think they gave a fucking bullshit reason. So yeah, people are gonna get what they want to get. Oh, there you go. Please play it.
Okay, yep.
Play, please.
Trogler, I can't allow them to make an independent Quimbly game. It's my IP to sit on and do nothing with. We must find them and destroy them.
Wait. Oh, damn it. I wanted to watch him do the chicken nugget. He puts the sauce on him and then like...
Oh, yeah, that's right. He like pours it on his head and just...
Yeah, you haven't seen like other than the episodes that I showed you, you haven't seen much of Smiling Friends?
No. I haven't. I've really loved everything I've seen though. And I love the Quimbly clips.
Oh my god, dude, Gwimbly is the best character ever. And what do you say something about the fen epidemic in this country?
They found Mr. Millipede or Mr.
Millipede.
Yeah, Mr. Millipede. It's like a damn brother to me. This is so wrong. And I should say, because no one else is gonna say it. America has a fucking fentanyl crisis.
Ew. Anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it boils down to.
Yeah. Yeah, I got no other thoughts.
Yeah, so pretty much the U.S. government has said it's okay to just sit on IPs and do nothing with them. Because you may possibly, maybe, hopefully, sort of, sell it sometime in the future, in the indefinite future. Okay. Well, man, you know what? I think we need a good laugh to kind of cleanse the palate.
Absolutely.
Right? What do you think?
Oh, yeah, please. I always like laughing, and I like laughing at stupid game devs.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sure you
But-
will.
But you know what company we love laughing at? We've been laughing at them for quite some time now.
Dude, they've been well, we've been mentioning them. They've been taking some L's this year, and they're also going to take, I think, some more L's in the near future.
Yeah, most possibly. But yeah, friend of the podcast, Ubisoft has reportedly been trying to pull a slick one on us, and they've tried to launch, or they have launched, a full-blown NFT game, right?
Yay!
Yay! Yeah, they are 3 years late to the party after the market pretty much all but crashed in 2021. But so it seems that Ubisoft's blockchain efforts have now come to fruition. I think, sort of, maybe.
You think?
Not really. It's come to fruition, but it has not come to fruition. But apparently, they launched a game called Champion Tactics, which has been billed as a PvP tactical RPG game for the PC, where you collect like figurines, like little like Warhammer figurines that are printed, right? Printed and minted, and you have them fight each other in these turn-based battles. And where is it? Yeah, so this is the game right here, right? Oh, that's the trailer. And as you can see, it's like different archetypes and stuff. And then we get to the actual figurines, right? So all these figurines are NFTs, and they can only be bought using cryptocurrency or in-game gold. And, well, I mean, we don't know how the performance of the game is, but considering that it was only launched on their Ubisoft Connect, which Ubisoft themselves has cited as being a reason why they're flopping so hard.
Really?
And also the fact that the NFT market is pretty much gone. I can't imagine this game doing too well. So apparently, according to this game, you actually start off with some temporary figures that you can play with, to kind of try out. And then eventually you have to purchase actual figures, which are the NFTs. And you can only do it with in-game gold or cryptocurrency. And you have to buy it from other players. And you're probably wondering, wow, dude, so what are these prices going for? Well, they can go apparently anywhere from $7 to a whopping $63,000. And for what's essentially a DLC.
The brain pain hurts.
Or you can also make them yourselves, but that also requires in-game currency or crypto.
You want to make your own? You want to make your own NFT? That costs money, but there's no Bored Ape, so of course it flopped.
I mean, even Bored Ape is not doing well at all, dude. It's not doing well.
It's fine.
No, it's doing crap. Didn't Justin Bieber buy one and say like it's worth like trash now? Like he bought it for millions of dollars.
Well, that's his own fucking fault.
It was him or it's Seth Green. It was one of them two. No, Seth Green bought one. He got it stolen, pretty much. And he tried to buy it. And he tried to buy it off some Australian guy who bought it, and he's like, "No, I'm not giving it to you."
Dude, it's literally that. Oh my god, that was the whole point of the NFT, was that it was yours through blockchain. Like no one can steal it, and they end up fucking steal it. That's the great heist story of the 2010s and the 2020s.
So another interesting thing is that the game was actually listed as adults only on its initial trailer.
Oh, word?
Yeah, because apparently, I guess because of the cryptocurrency stuff. I imagine.
Man.
Yeah, I imagine that since the game is all crypto, like it involves real money, that they can't. They don't want kids playing it. But apparently, the databases does not have any information on it, and so in the updates, the ESRB spokesperson said that Champion Tactics actually did not file at all for a rating system, and that it was probably just a mistake that they added that rating on there.
Oh, okay.
Which is it's interesting because like, wait, what? Okay, that's kind of a weird mess up. But besides that, it's kind of weird, but not really surprising given how stupid Ubisoft is. That they decided to launch this so late into the game, especially when you have companies like Mojang and the game Minecraft pretty much saying, no, we're not doing NFTs. You have our Lord and Savior Lord Gaben, saying that NFTs are sketchy and out of control fraud. And he essentially banned them from Steam. You even have EA of all companies, walking back on NFTs after they were like, yeah, bro, NFTs are the future. We're still going to go all in on it. You even have Sega being like, nah, maybe not. And then you have Ubisoft themselves when they tried to launch the Ubisoft Quartz stuff. And apparently that absolutely flopped. Like no one bought anything for it. And just as a reminder, do you remember the NFT market crashed by 95%? According to a study done back in 2023.
95%, you say?
Yeah, 95%, a whopping 95%. God only knows how poorly this game is doing.
It's probably really fucking poor. Like poorer than you'd think. It's probably worse.
Yeah, so this is just another L. This is a funny L though. It's like,
No, it's a
what?
funny ass L. Hell
They
yeah.
tried to sneak this in under us, and we're like, whoa, 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 what you got there? What you got there, Ubisoft? Is that an NFT you got? What is that?
No, it's a game. It's a game where you use NFTs.
What's on the side? It says Web 3?
No. It's nothing. It's just card. It's a deck builder. It's a deck building game where you have to make her buy your own NFT.
Yeah, so any other thoughts here?
No, man, let them fail. It's funny.
Yeah, it's a really funny L, man. After everything that's gone on with Star Wars Outlaws not doing well, Avatar game not doing well, Assassin's Creed game being pushed back because apparently they're really scared shitless. Even though they moved it to February, which is going to be super busy, really busy, really high competitive months. So I don't know what the hell they're thinking.
I don't think they are thinking, but that's a story for another day. We'll get to that. We'll get to that failure.
They have their own shareholders begging the Guillemot family to please step down, and apparently amassing support from 10% of other shareholders.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, it's wild. Ubisoft is wild, man.
What else is there to say? I don't think, dude. They got a lot of turmoil going on right now. Like that game studio.
Oh yeah, Skull and Bones.
Yeah, that's why. Well, that released this year, right? Skull and Bones.
That released this year.
Yeah, that was the L that they've had this year, and honestly, dude, I think they're going to take a huge L with the new Assassin's Creed that's coming out. So,
yeah, but we'll see, because Assassin's Creed is usually the one thing they do okay.
Yeah,
which is why they have fucking 10 of them, I think, in development. I think is what I heard.
But this one in particular has been stoking a lot of controversy, and also the fact that they had to push it back after it's. I think it was supposed to come out already, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out last month.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out last month, and they literally pulled out of the Japanese game show and said, you know what, let's wait to release this game. And then, like you said, they put it on a busy-ass release schedule. With another game, well, with a lot of games, one of which we're going to be covering because that's going to be taking a lot of our attention.
Yeah, they definitely will. But for the time being...
Indeed.
Let's talk about some TV, huh?
Yeah, let's do some TV news. I will take the helm on this one. So, the Mass Effect TV series, which was first revealed in 2021, is apparently officially in development. Variety reports that Amazon MGM Studios is going to be producing the Mass Effect show, and that it is officially in development after years of no updates, no word whatsoever. So the report says that Daniel Casey, who worked on Fast and Furious 9, oh Lord, is writing an executive.
That's my exact thought.
Sorry, a side note.
Oh no. Okay, I'm sorry.
What?
Keep going.
What? Hang on.
Keep going.
All right. So Daniel Casey is writing and executive producing the show, while EA's Michael Gamble. EA. Sorry. Disgusting.
Oh God.
Is an executive producer as well as Ari. Oh no.
Oh no.
Ari Arad. Oh my God.
We're doomed.
Venom is gonna make an appearance as one of the aliens. Ari Arad. Oh, I love that. Oh, he was on Iron Man and he's in the upcoming Zelda movie too. Oh
yeah.
No.
Oh, and he also did a more notorious movie.
Which one? Oh, Jesus Christ! No.
Yeah, bro. You excited now?
All right, guys, we're fucked. It's a wrap.
You
Sorry.
hyped? Yo, I know you're hyped for that Mass Effect.
Bro, I literally saw that. Dude, Borderlands was available to watch on the plane, and I instead decided to watch Ocean's 11. And you know what? I think I made the right choice.
I think you should have watched Borderlands.
Fuck
bro,
you.
that would have made a very interesting segment.
No, man, no, because then the guy next to me would have gotten annoyed with all of my that's not funny, that's cringe type shit. All right, so we have we have got people that are questionable to just downright worrisome working on this show. There are no plot details available as of yet for the Mass Effect movie, but it will be following the spacefaring adventures of Commander Shepard, where he will proceed to bang every alien in the galaxy.
Well, bang, okay.
Yeah, it will bang. Okay. It turns out there was actually a movie version of the game, but it never got off the ground. But it's funny because Mac Walters, who worked at BioWare,
He's one of the writers for Mass Effect.
Yeah, he was one of the writers for Mass Effect, and said like, yeah, no, like if you want to do a proper Mass Effect show, it has to be a TV series. And to be fair, with any RPG whatsoever, TV shows is the way to do it because there's way too much shit to make it into a movie.
I mean, Fallout, they did a great job making it
Fallout, Fallout did an amazing job. They did a phenomenal job. And I think honestly that should be a good I wouldn't say gold standard, but I'd say it's one of the shows to look up to, like, oh, okay, because video game adaptations, unfortunately, well, you saw the movie we just pulled up. Video game adaptations have a nasty habit of bombing. So,
well, I mean, the crazy thing is that we've actually come a long way. Like, the Borderlands movie is like a callback to like the early 2000s when people making the movie clearly didn't give a fuck about the IP and do nothing about it.
Yes, indeed. But now it seems people are taking the stories from video games very seriously, as we've seen in with the Fallout TV show, and even with the Sonic movie. Both of them is they're good. It's good shit. I'm very excited. Yeah, so I was working on it at Amazon MGM, which is great because they literally does not have resources, will not be a concern. Amazon has a shitload of money. They can spend it as they see fit if they want to do it right.
Yeah. Talent, on the other hand.
Yeah, so listen, man. Fallout was Amazon, right?
I think so, yes. But they got freaking who's producing it? Not Christopher Nolan, his brother.
Oh, but they got
Jonathan Nolan. Yeah, and Jonathan Nolan, like he's he's a very smart, talented guy. He's a good writer. He's a good producer. He
underrated in my opinion.
He worked on Westworld. He wrote a lot of Christopher Nolan's early movies, and his early movies are excellent, like even better than a lot of his later movies. He also partly wrote. I think he mainly wrote Dark Knight. So like.
So it was him and Christopher Nolan, but yeah, it was mostly him, and also
David S. Goyer.
David S. Goyer was Batman Begins, and then the third movie. But the Dark Knight, the one with Heath Ledger's Joker, was strictly Jonathan Nolan and Christopher Nolan that wrote it. At least according to the credits, because dude, trust me, I watched that movie a lot, and yeah, dude, and I compared it to the other two because Batman Begins was really good, really decent. Dark Knight was like a huge step up in quality, and then of course the third movie it fell off. But I gave it a pass because Heath Ledger died. They didn't want to do another Joker. They didn't mention the Joker at all. For obvious reasons, they wanted to have respect for Heath Ledger, but the movie inevitably suffered for it. But you can tell Jonathan Nolan knows his shit. Actually, I think Memento, one of your favorite movies, was based off of a short story that he wrote.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. So the guy knows his shit. Honestly, I think he's really underrated when compared to Chris Nolan. I love the guy, but I think Jonathan Nolan needs to do more shit because he's really good at what he does. But in any case, so Amazon has a lot of resources, so money will not be an issue. It's really just talent that really they need to do, because a really big, I think, blemish on their reputation right now is the Rings of Power TV show. A lot of people have been doing a lot of complaining, especially from J.R.R. Tolkien purists, saying that they're essentially doing whatever the fuck they want with the Lord of the Rings lore, which I think is a huge mistake. Lord of the Rings is probably the most beloved fantasy epic of all time. Even as a work of English literature, it's one of the best. I mean, it's literally written by the guy who wrote the Oxford Dictionary. So Amazon has had a problem with that. So that's why people are very concerned. However, I think the Fallout TV show success has allayed a lot of those concerns. I mean, people are still weary, but I believe I'm willing to give them a chance, especially with the God of War TV show that they're making.
Oh, it's good that you mentioned the God of War TV show, because I was just thinking, man, it's kind of a shame that this guy that we talked about last episode is working the God of War TV show, because I think he'd be a perfect fit for Mass Effect, and that's
Moore?
Ronald D. Moore.
Yeah, Ronald D. Moore. Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, this guy, he's the producer for Battlestar Galactica, for the reboot of it.
Yes, dude.
And
yes.
that's a very highly praised sci-fi show. And, this guy clearly understands sci-fi. I mean, he even looks like a fucking hippie George Lucas. So
honestly, he looks like he honestly looks like George Lucas, but with less neck fat.
Yeah, he's like a hippie version though of George Lucas.
Yeah.
So this guy knows his shit. Like, I think this guy, he would have been a great fit as a producer for it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't know who does who works is the Expanse a sci-fi channel? I forgot.
The Expanse? No, I think that's Netflix. Which, by the way, I've never seen The Expanse, but I have heard nothing but great things about it. Hang on.
Yeah, everyone says that this show is amazing.
Is it Netflix?
And it's like, it's a lot like has a lot in common with Mass Effect.
Oh no, it's Amazon as well.
Okay. It's Amazon as well. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Damn. All right.
Why couldn't you get like people like that? So apparently, like Mike Fergus, Hawk, Ospey are the people who developed it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
that would have been nice.
So
get some of the Expanse people working on it.
It would be very nice if the Expanse people could work on these space shows. In terms of Ronald Moore, though, I mean, usually what happens is they'll bring in these new talent to start on shows, and if they do a good job, it's kind of like a tryout. So the Mass Effect TV series is still very early. They don't even have a showrunner. They just have executive producers. Yeah.
And they have a writer, though. It's a Fast 9. Oh, my God.
Drifting. Oh, my God. Imagine the Normandy drifting through
the Mako.
Space. Oh, my.
The fucking Mako going to be Tokyo drifting.
Or the Hammerhead, Tokyo drifting. If you guys played the DLC for Mass Effect 2, the Hammerhead. Yes. Essentially the Mako, but hovercraft version. Yeah. So it would usually these studios will give somebody a project, not just to work on it, but also as essentially, an interview, a tryout to see if they can handle it and if they do a good job. Because after all, if you make one success, chances are you're going to make more. But considering his legacy with Battlestar Galactica, there really shouldn't have to be a tryout. They should just give it to him. Like once work on the God of War show for season 1 wraps, be like, hey, listen, man, we want you for this Mass Effect show. We need this shit to succeed in spite of the EPs that we have attached to the project. So yeah, very, very exciting in terms of news. Mass Effect is, near and dear to both of our hearts.
Love it forever. My favorite of the BioWare games. One of my favorite probably my favorite game trilogy of all time, even though 3 was a bit of a mess. 2 is like one of my favorite games of all time. It's a game that's very near and dear to my heart, and I would love nothing more to see it be fully realized in a show. But seeing who's in charge of it does not inspire much confidence.
No, it does not inspire any confidence whatsoever. So we'll have to see what happens. But I'm really happy that Amazon is in charge of it, because if BioWare had the decision to make this TV show, they'd probably run it into the ground.
So what do you think they should do, like for like story?
Oh no, dude, like a honestly, Star Trek, episodic adventures based on different side quests, starting from Mass Effect 1 all the way to Mass Effect 3, and then they end with the infamous ending, but they run a poll on which ending they want, the good, bad, what?
That was just funny. Poll. What? Okay.
Poll. We'll run a poll, like vote on your ending. We'll have the fans vote on which ending they want to see happen, and then they reveal it at the series finale. And who knows, how long it'll take. And dude, there's so much content. There's the Mass Effect 1. There's all the DLCs associated with each individual Mass Effect. That's what they should do. Episodic content, just like Star Trek. And then they'll have some story arcs that run for multiple episodes, especially like toward the end of the seasons or the end of the games rather. So, like, like Mass Effect 1, Battle on Vermeer. That's the beginning of like the end of the Mass Effect 1 story arc. So you just have, cliffhanger after cliffhanger, kind of like the old TV shows.
Okay. I mean, personally, I would love to see I think that they shouldn't really like tell a direct story from the Mass Effect games, because everyone has like their own interpretation of like how the story would be, because it's an RPG game where you make choices. Everyone's gonna make different choices, so some people are really gonna not like how one thing plays out, or they'll really like how one thing plays out. Like you won't be able to please anybody. I think the best thing to do, or the most interesting one, would be have it take place during the First Contact War, or have it take place in between the First Contact War. So don't so like you remember like in the game when the Tyrians first meet the humans. You remember the First Contact War, right?
Yeah. That was the first time the humans meet the Turians, and of course war broke out.
Yeah, so the war broke out. So you can have it take place either during that time and then have it end with like a peace treaty between them, and have it end like with the humans joining the alliance. Or you can have it take place afterwards. Have it take place in between. Maybe make Captain Anderson in his young days. Make it about him.
That'd be cool. That'd be very.
There
nice.
actually is a book about Captain Anderson in his younger days that I actually read. It was a pretty good book. I forgot what it was called though.
That would be pretty cool.
And he actually meets Saren. That was like so like remember how he said that he worked with Saren one time, and he was like, yeah, this guy's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That book covers those events.
Oh, that's cool. Honestly, dude, get Keith David. Use some anti-age technology and just get him.
No, I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna work, dude.
Listen, man. I love Keith David. He should do more shit. Look at him. He's fine. Black don't crack. He's beautiful. Look at the handsome man.
Brother, he's 68, man. Come on.
Who cares? Well, anyway. Sorry, I'm a huge
You know
fan.
what? They should get Mahershala Ali and then just never make it.
You're bad, bro. That's all. I feel bad for the guy. You did him dirty like that. But you know what? Now that you bring it up, though, I mean, he looks like he'd be good casting for David Anderson. Sorry, I don't know why. I just assumed that they would follow the story of Commander.
No,
Shepard.
that's a natural assumption, because most movies will do that. But I think they shouldn't do that. Like the Mass Effect world is huge. There's so many things you can do.
And actually, there is no plot details available. So
yeah, because they probably don't have a script.
Yeah, no, well, they don't even know what they want to do. So there is a chance that they could just go and do like a spin-off, not even about Commander Shepard and the adventures of the Normandy. What they could also do? They could do a story just about the Terminus systems and all the outlaw shit going on, and have it be like a Wild Western type deal.
That could be interesting. Yeah.
Oh my god, with Arya, the Carrie Ann Moss. Well, I mean, not her, but
She make a good Arya because she plays bitches all the time.
Yeah.
Plays.
But at this point, she's well, like you said, she's old. So
yeah, but Arya doesn't do much physically. She just fucking waves her hand and just.
No, hang on. Mass Effect 3 DLC where you take back Omega, she does shit. Okay, she's one of your party members, and she does a lot of shit, running around and doing biotics and crap.
Oh, she can do that. You should CG that shit.
No, please. Bring back practical effects. The CG industry is literally strained and losing their minds to the point where they're doing shit quality CGI work. So please bring back practical effects and use CGI to enhance the look of practical effects. It's also cheaper to use props than it is to use $1,000 computer programs. But yeah, sorry, I've been on a trend where I want more practical effects done for like movies and TV shows. So there's a lot that could be done. Quite frankly, though, with who's running this, I wouldn't be surprised if they chose the most cookie cutter, basic bitch ass story. Well, one thing though, I will say, one of the things about Mass Effect, in BioWare games in general, is the whole idea of choices and consequences. So in my head for the Mass Effect show, where it's about Commander Shepard and the adventures of the Normandy, I would have it so that doesn't matter what path that you choose, just make the consequences known for that decision in that moment, and also like 20 episodes down the line. Because a lot of what makes choices compelling is watching the consequences of that choice reverberate throughout the galaxy.
Yeah,
So
yeah, makes sense.
so I think that's something very important that they should do. Should they implement that choice system?
Hmm.
But I think it'd be really compelling. I think that's pretty much it for this story. Is there anything you want to add? Do you want to apologize to Marshall Ali or anything?
He's doing fine. Now he doesn't need to be apologized to him. That man's a decorated actor,
He is
well loved, well
very
paid.
well
Okay,
loved.
he doesn't need me to apologize.
We believe in you, Marshall.
I didn't call him anything bad. I just said he's not
No,
gonna.
I know. I'm joking. I'm joking. I know you didn't call me bad, but yeah, cool. All right, sweet, excellent. Now, speaking of people that really were scared of running shit, is the Life is Strange developments. So turns out the Life is Strange devs workers are going on strike over the impending layoffs. So Don't Nod workers are due to strike this Friday after the studio announced its redundancy plan last month. So the workers at Don't Nod, which are the developers behind Life is Strange 1 and 2, Jusant, and Records Bloom and Rage, are set to strike due to the imminent layoffs from the developer. So there are 69 jobs. Oh wow, nice. Sorry.
Whoa, nice.
So there's 69 jobs that are at risk after what they call a new initiative that was designed for a quote reorganization project to ensure the company's long-term future against deteriorating financial results. So essentially, like, yeah, we're not making a lot of money, so we got to lay you off. Sorry, totally not our fault though, as management. So they claim that specifically the CEO, Oscar Gilbert, explained that the half-year results for 2024 reflect on the economic underperformance of the latest release, despite solid ratings from Metacritic, as well as the accounting impact of the decisions we had to make, which to me just sounds like, oh, whoops, we mismanaged our money. They announced last spring that they no longer seem sufficient to maintain company's competitiveness, so they're announcing a reorganization project, which could set the studio, specifically Don't Nod, on a new development trajectory. He is fully conscious of the impact that this project may have on their employees. However, he did say that securing company's resources and restoring its ability to perform in an increasingly competitive and selective industry is extremely necessary. So, but as the workers that are striking have pointed out, they're demanding that they give up on the irresponsible and unfair layoffs plan, because as it seems that studio decisions essentially are being made that are not made by them. So all the studio decisions are made by the directors and the CEO. So any bad decision that they make, they seem to not be taking responsibility for. So they make a bad decision and then they just lay off the workers. So the CEO and the management makes a bad decision and it's like, oh, whoops, bad decisions made. Well, we're gonna take responsibility by not taking responsibility at all, and they're just gonna lay off the worker staff. So they're striking because it sucks. It's like we work our ass off to make these games, and the reason that we're not making money is mismanagement on your part, but you're laying us off. So for you. So they're gonna call for a 1-day strike on Friday, November 8th. Well, actually, at the time of this recording, the strike has already happened. So we gotta follow up with that later. So what are your thoughts on this?
Well, this is a French studio. It seems like a pretty natural reaction that they would go on strike. Because there's two things the French love more in the world: it's wine and protesting. So to them, it is like a national pastime along with soccer.
It is.
So it's like a professional sport for them. So I mean, yeah, man, you piss off some French people, naturally, right? There's gonna go on strike, right? There's gonna be some consequences over at the workplace,
especially in terms of workers' rights and workers' unions. They take that shit so seriously. They take it as seriously as they do their bread and their bakery items.
Oh yes, their croissants and their
Hey, man.
baguettes.
Hey, it's good shit. They take it
It
seriously,
is good.
and it shows. Oh
It is
man,
good.
wait. Yeah, yeah. Well, you traveled to Europe, right, Jesse? You've had like.
I went to France, but I only went to Lourdes, and that was for like a day. That was it.
Oh, okay. But
I didn't.
But you had food there,
I had
correct?
I had like some pizza there. It was really good. It was beautiful too because it was like by the river, so it was. Yeah, it was beautiful, and it was in the Lourdes. It's really nice. That was it. I didn't go much deeper. I spent most of the time of that trip in Spain and Portugal. But we digress. So yeah, so coming back to this, right? It's cool that they're trying to do something about it. We'll see how it pans out because like we said, this is already passed. There's been no updates yet as to what's been going on. Although a 1-day strike is kind of weird. It's like how effective can that possibly be? Just like, oh, it's just not going to work for 1 day. Like, isn't the idea of a strike to like not work at all for a prolonged period of time?
Well, you never know. I guess I'm assuming that the work they do is so necessary that they just want to kind of give them a taste of how badly they'll fall behind, and hopefully, as a scare tactic. But if it doesn't work, then they could just keep striking. Or maybe they just wanted the day off this Friday for God knows what reason.
Yeah, maybe.
But we'll have to get an update on this. I would like to see.
Yes, I'd be very interested in seeing how this goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's pretty much all there is to say on that, at least on my part. Anything else?
Yeah. No. Just French people protesting unfair management. You go, guys.
It sounds like a very French story to me, and we have a French friend, so he'd probably agree.
Oh, honestly, he's probably going to reach this part of the podcast of the episode and be like, "Oh, yes." He doesn't speak with a French accent.
No,
but,
he's not.
He's pretty Americanized, but he will love this story.
Okay, so this one we have two of the stories that kind of go a little hand in hand because they both involve Nintendo. But first, let's go over the more positive coverage because the coverage after this is not so positive.
No, not Nintendo. Positive. Yeah.
But so the first one's a little update on Nintendo Switch. Which apparently is going to be announced less than 5 months away, and analysts are. Well, Nintendo themselves, first off, they confirmed that by the end of March 2025, they will announce the Switch successor, which we have been calling Switch 2. We don't know what it's going to be called. There was the code name leaked last episode that we talked about, where it was called the Ounce. Yes. We don't know how that's going to translate to the real name, but apparently, it's probably not going to be that much different from the Switch. It's going to be like a pretty much like a souped-up Switch. And with that, the corporate manager over at Nintendo, by the name of company president, the company president, who named Shutaro Furukawa, announced and confirmed that the Switch will actually be backwards compatible, or the Switch 2, will be backwards compatible with the Switch. So that's some very good news, because a lot of people have been like, dude, I really want to play my Switch games and not have it run at 20 to 25 FPS, like Legend of Zelda, right? Or more recently, Echoes of Wisdom, apparently. The new Legend of Zelda game apparently also has frame rate problems, which I don't know how, because it looks like they look like fucking Tinker Toys. I don't know what the hell could be causing graphical problems with that.
I think the Switch is just old at this point.
Yeah, right. It's a 7-year-old console, dude. It needs an update.
It needs an update.
Yeah,
that poor thing. I mean, God bless it
for so long.
God bless the thing. It's literally running on gum and a 2008 phone chip, but it chugs along, man.
And hey, I mean, all these considered, it's been doing extremely well for itself. It sold, what is it, 146.04 million units, which is fucking insane.
Good lord.
Yeah, it is. I think it's one of, if not the highest selling console for Nintendo. I think it's like up there with the Wii. I don't think it beat the Wii, but it's up there, right? It's been selling very, very, very well. Although for this year, Nintendo did report a downward trend or forecast from 13.5 million to 12.5 million units sold. Probably because a lot of people are expecting the Switch 2 to be announced really soon. And
understandable.
And that's partly the reason why a lot of analysts are saying that Nintendo aren't going to announce it this year, because they don't want to hurt holiday sales. Because, if the successor is right around the corner, you're not going to buy a new console during holiday. You're going to be, I'm just going to hold out and wait for the Switch 2.
Yeah, but if it's so close, well, and actually no, the announcement is close, not the actual sale of the new console.
Yeah, we don't know when it's actually going to be sold. But like, if you announce it now, people will be like, "Oh, I'll just wait."
Oh wait, repeat that again. Yeah, you like.
They said, "I'll just wait." Right? If you announce it now, then people like during the holiday season be like, "Well, I don't think I'll buy the Switch. I'll just wait for the successor to come out." Especially once they find out it's gonna be backwards compatible. It's like, okay, well, there's no reason for me to buy a new Switch.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense on their part. But who knows? It could be anywhere sometime next year, between January and March. They're not going to announce it this year. It'll be anywhere between January and March. I'm predicting like a February announcement, pretty much. I think February or March. I don't think they'll announce it in January. And I don't know when the release is. I don't remember when the rumored release is. I think they said like summer, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it's summer.
Yeah.
In which case, then, hey, we can finally play our Switch games at not 20 FPS, right? I can finally open up my copy of Tears of the Kingdom and play it at a good frame rate after I probably sell my Switch or whatever. They also confirmed that the Switch Online will also be compatible, which is great.
Yes.
Because, Nintendo's notorious for making you start over every single time. Like from the Wii to Wii U, you pretty much had to start over with your digital copies of stuff. And the digital infrastructure, you had to start over. The Wii U to Switch, it was the same thing, right? And those stores closed recently. Like the Wii store closed like last year, I think, right? It was like a year before. And the Wii U store closed last year also, I think. Or closed recently. Luckily, everything has been ported over at this point. Like every game worth getting on the Wii U was ported over. So any other thoughts?
No. I mean, it's great. Good job, Nintendo.
All right. Well, get ready to go from
fuck you, Nintendo.
Fuck you, Nintendo. Good on you on the Switch too, but fuck
Piece
you
of shit.
for this, right? So as you remember, we reported earlier this year that Palworld was finally going to be sued by Nintendo for supposed patent infringement. At the time, they didn't really know what patents they were infringing upon, but Palworld has given us an update. PocketPair, the studio behind Palworld, has given us an update on it where they cited several patents, 3 in particular. And for reparations, Nintendo wants PocketPair to give them 5 million yen, or the equivalent of $32,846 US dollars, each, plus late payment damages, as well as an injunction against Palworld that would block its release. So pretty much some pocket change and them to stop selling the game.
Which is the real meat and potatoes of the lawsuit.
Yeah, which is really what they want to do, right? They want to eliminate all competition that they can, no matter how malicious they may come off as. Well, apparently the patents in question for these 3, right? They have very detailed explanations, but essentially they boil down to Pokeball, and they boil down to writing Pokemon themselves. And apparently these patents were filed for 2023 this year, but apparently they're actually revisions of a patent made in 2021. So like, how we were saying like, oh, like they're doing like after the fact or whatever. Apparently that's not really true. But like in either case, the idea of a company patenting mechanics sets a very, very bad precedent, right? Especially since the patent itself is very broad, right? It just says that like you're throwing I guess we could open it. I'm not reading that. Fuck. Okay. Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. That was a lot of text. All right. So, I mean, it pretty much boils down to, the Pokeball and writing Pokemon, like just writing creatures. Like, but that can be so many games, right? Like, it's so clear that they're doing this as a targeted attack on Palworld, because this can be applied to so many different games. Like a game of horse riding on it as a mechanic could possibly be seen as infringing upon the patent. But Nintendo's not going to do that, because Nintendo won't see that game probably as a threat. There's also games that give you spherical like objects that let you like summon creatures, like the Ratchet and Clank games. Like, remember Destructo Bots, I think, whatever the hell they're called. Right?
Yeah. The glove that summoned the and then they went after they went after your enemies and shit.
Yeah, and I think in the latest Ratchet and Clank game, when did that come out? They did show that like there's a weapon like that. Well, this is a PC version, but I think it was a launch title. So, okay, it came out before, but like, either way, the point still stands. It came out before probably the patent was filed, but even then, the point still stands, right? When you patent mechanics, you stifle creativity in this industry, because so many games pretty much almost every single game borrows ideas from other games, and that's how we get innovation. We borrow mechanics from other games, we iterate on it, we make changes to it, little tweaks here and there, or we fundamentally change how it works. And, that's how we get cool new games with it. And it would be very, very, very bad if all of a sudden patenting mechanics would be a thing that's allowed on a wide scale.
Yeah.
I mean, Warner Brothers patented the Nemesis system. That's a very infamous case. You remember that, right?
Yeah, of course. Very, very infamous.
And did you ever play the Mordor games?
No, I did not. But remember, we covered that unreleased Batman Begins game, which is where the Nemesis system actually came from. And that's
Right.
and we talked about it when we talked about it there. And honestly, it was a good idea, to have criminals remember Batman.
And in the Mordor games, it was super cool. Like, I thought playing this, I'm like, man, this would be kind of sick. Like, if they implemented this in an Assassin's Creed game, because like the whole thing was like the Nemesis system was like the orcs had like this hierarchy, like this network, and they were all like connected to each other, and the Nemesis system was tied to that system. So like if you killed someone like higher up on the food chain of the orc, hierarchy, then like the lower ones that are connected to him might like start being scared of you. So like they'll run away, or they'll get angry and they'll want to like avenge like their commander or whatever. And I thought, man, that'd be super sick. Like if like an Assassin's Creed game had something like this, where like it was like an entire like assassin network, where like depending on like who you kill and what order you do it in, like NPCs will like remember it and like take action accordingly. But they can't do that now without the risk of being sued by WB. And now look where we're at. Like there hasn't been a new Mordor game at all. There's been no new games that have used the Nemesis system at all. I think the Wonder Woman game is rumored to have a Nemesis like system in it, but we don't know shit about that game.
Oh yeah.
We don't know when the fuck it's gonna come out, or what it's gonna play like, or if it's even gonna be good. It could be bullshit.
We literally have one vague trailer, and then that's it. Yeah, you're right. It could be vaporware. Like who knows?
Or it could just suck when it comes out.
Which also seems very likely, unfortunately, given the track record. But yeah, dude, fucking lame. You're stifling creativity by essentially holding good ideas hostage through the patent system. So yeah, and Nintendo is a very infamous litigious organization. So they're not as WB. I don't think is as brazen or as litigious, but Nintendo certainly is.
Definitely not. Nintendo lawyers don't give a fuck.
So if they set this precedent, we are in a world of trouble, because every game studio is going to be suing every other game studio because they copied the fucking shit mechanic in a game. Like, South Park, the whole, taking a crap in the toilet mechanic.
Yes.
Where it's like a little mini game.
Yes.
Yeah. Some asshole will be like, that was actually my idea. I've got the patents for it that I filed 2 days ago because there was no patent previously on it. So yeah, I want this game taken down. So, well, all right, Nintendo, why do you do this?
Yeah, I fucking hate Nintendo. Let's just hope they lose. I mean, it's gonna be years. This is gonna be a years-long battle. We don't know.
They need to lose,
but they need to lose.
This is a need. This isn't even I want them to lose. This is an opinion of mine. I don't want them. No. This is a need. The free market is literally at risk. Free gaming market.
Most certainly. But so enough about Nintendo. Let's talk about another Japanese company, one that we actually really love.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, first trailer came out for this game, and I was like, "Yep, I'm sold."
Yeah, you and many other gooners out there.
Yeah, hey, to be fair, I have not gooned over this game.
Not yet.
Well, after our last conversation, now I feel the infernal lust. The infernal lust. It's bubbling underneath, and
he yearns for the goon.
I yearn for the goon. But so Capcom, quote a famous YouTuber, has risen from the grave to make some motherfucking money. Capcom has shared that its sales for the first half of the fiscal year 25. So when it says FY25, does that mean the fiscal year for 2025?
It goes from April of this year to March of next year.
To March of next year.
So yeah, okay. It's the 2025 refers to when it ends.
Oh, okay.
March 2025 is when the fiscal year ends.
Sounds good. Sorry, I've always been confused, but I'm
Yeah,
glad
no,
you
no, it's
cleared that
weird.
up.
It's weird. It's weird.
Thank you. But yeah, so Capcom shared the sales for the first half of the fiscal year of 2025. It appears that, shocker, PC makes a lot of fucking money. So apparently Capcom has sold more units on PC than Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox consoles. I don't know if that's combined or individually, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was combined because the PC market is huge. It's so damn big. Specifically, Capcom has sold 20,025 million units so far in the fiscal year, and oh, there you go. Half of that was on PC, 54% to be to be precise. Oh, why does it look like that?
Yeah, the text is all cut off.
Refresh it.
I tried. Is it better on your end? I don't know why. Maybe it has some kind of extension that's fucking it up.
Yeah, probably. Sorry about the thing looking weird, folks. It's those ads, bro, on the right.
Thought I blocked it.
Exit. Wait. Exit the page and then like relaunch it from the link in Discord. Try that.
Yeah, 'cause I don't remember looking like that when I first.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, something got cut in the.
All right, but keep going. You have it on your
Right.
end.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So like I said, 25 million units so far, just halfway in the fiscal year, and 54% of that was on PC, while 40% was on consoles. So yes, sold the Capcom sold more on PC than all the consoles combined. Which was compared to the previous year where they did 48%. So it showed a 6% increase in PC sales. So they are definitely starting to take notice. We have really big games, of course, like the Resident Evil 4 remake on PC was huge, as well as the Dragon's Dogma 2. And now their next big hit. Oh, and also, how can I forget Street Fighter 2? Dude, Street Fighter. I mean, I don't know the numbers for that game in particular, but I'm pretty sure that made a splash on the PC scene.
No, Street Fighter did pretty well. I mean,
On 60,
yeah, it has. Currently, it has 8,600 people playing. I mean, 70,000. That's pretty good for fighting game numbers.
That's great. I'll defer your judgment on that.
For a fighting game, that's pretty good. And it has 8,685. I mean, considering fighting games are kind of niche, those are pretty good numbers. And the good thing about fighting games is that people consistently play them. So like, even though the numbers might be small, people are very dedicated to them.
Yeah,
and it's cross-play. So like, you can play with PlayStation people, Xbox people too.
Oh,
you have people to play with.
Cool. So the next game that Capcom is going to release is Monster Hunter Wilds, which just released its beta over the Halloween weekend. And my God, it's a lot of fucking people. I think its peak, according to Steam charts, was 463,798 people, which is a lot of people. The Wilds beta was a tremendous success, and it was such a success that it beat out other well-known titles like Dragon Age: The Veilguard. And yeah, it's poised to be probably one of the biggest games of next year. It's also launching in February. This is one of those games that Assassin's Creed Shadows has to compete with, and I don't think it's going to be a competition. I did not get to play the beta because I was on vacation, a little mini vacation, on North Carolina. But I've heard that it's been great. The RE engine is spectacular. However, the only bad news is apparently the game is very, very graphically demanding to play. So much so, yeah. What you told me? What was the base that you need?
For the recommended, just to reach for medium settings with 60 FPS with frame generation, you need at minimum a 3080, an RTX 3080 is what they recommend, or the Radeon equivalent of that.
Yeah. Oh wait, actually, I have it here on the Steam page. So the recommended for as far as graphics is NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 Super, or or the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 460. That's weird because I have the 2080 Super, which should be like the kind of in between. That's really weird. But yeah, so 4060, VRAM of 8 gigs, and then of course the AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so not quite as high, but 2070 and that's to reach 1080p 60 medium with frame generation enabled. You need to have all this extra shit added to it on top of all that.
Yeah. So
Just
it's very
reach
graphically
medium.
demanding. It is graphically demanding just for medium. But after seeing the lovely ladies that are in this game, I am dragging Jesse to Micro Center to build a new computer.
Don't worry, I'll be there. I'm due for an upgrade anyways.
Yeah, so we're gonna be there together. Oh my god, Christmas
And
shopping. Oh my god,
can you
nice.
repeat those numbers by the way for the beta? Because I got some comparison here to World because that's a very important.
Oh
thing.
yeah, absolutely. So according to the Steam charts, I have here a peak of 463,798 all-time peak players 9 days ago. So this was on November 1st. So I guess that was that Friday that the beta released. So of course that was gonna be like that was the highest day.
And as you can see, I have here Monster Hunter World's numbers on the Steam charts, and its all-time peak was 329,000. So just the beta alone for Monster Hunter Wilds eclipsed Monster Hunter World's lifetime peak numbers by like a good like 20-something%, maybe even more.
So as I said, Capcom's about to make
30-something
some motherfucking money. It's an incredible increase, dude. But yeah, this game's about to make some serious motherfucking money, especially with the 2 new waifus that have joined the fray, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Capcom's been kind of like the beacon for this podcast, where it's like they make amazing games and they keep getting like tons of money because every year they're always reporting, record profits all the time. And guess what? We don't hear stories about layoffs. We actually hear stories about them hiring more people.
Yes, dude. Yes. That's the literal success story that we're talking about. And again, make good games, make a lot of money. Oh, what the fuck? What do you know? Also, it helps that they make nice character models. They know. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, no, definitely that does help quite a bit. But yeah, just you make good ass games and you make money.
Yeah, you make
and
good ass games.
And you build your franchises, because Monster Hunter, when it first came out, was crap. Those first games, like on PS2, they suck. They're just really clunky, but they really took off in Japan. People love them in Japan. And then World came out, and it just took the West by storm. Like, that's really the game. Because until then, it was kind of niche. Like, people in Japan going fucking crazy over it, and it sold millions of copies every time in Japan, which is insane, by the way, for like editing to sell millions of copies in Japan. And then World came out, and all of a sudden, everyone was buying it. It sold. I think it's still Capcom's highest selling game until Wilds comes out. Because I think World sold like tens of millions of copies.
Yeah, we'll look it up.
I think. Yeah. Sales numbers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like in the 20.5 million. It has sold 20.5 million copies. That's the base version of it, by the way.
That's crazy. Yeah.
If you include Iceborne, when you include the Iceborne Master Edition, which includes both the DLC and Monster Hunter World itself, is 25 million.
That's so much money, dude. Jesus Christ.
And I think they do sell like little cosmetic packs also, but like they're very few and they're super cheap. Like it's not like price gougingly bad, but yeah, like so they sold so many copies and they build up so much goodwill because now people love Monster Hunter. And we got to play it again, by the way, because we haven't played Rise in like months.
Yeah, I know. We have to prepare. We have to get ready for Wilds. But man, this is. We knew the game was going to be a hit. All the signs are pointing that it's going to be a mega hit, and memes have been flowing like honey, especially in regards to in-game cutscenes. Me and Jesse, of course, are fighting over who is best girl. He has a right to be wrong. It's okay. We love him.
Okay.
But we all know who the true waifu is, and her name is Gemma.
Damn, I'm trying to find the thing I sent you. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, there it is. Dude, I fucking died when you sent me that.
Yes, this was everyone. Like, as soon as that cutscene came out of her making armor for you guys, this is everybody on the internet just want to get a tongue full of those abs.
Oh my god, indeed.
All right, man. So, any other thoughts before we sign off?
No, nothing else of note. That was pretty good.
All right. So, Capcom, keep doing your thing. And with that being said, how about you sign us off?
Absolutely, sir. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Two Bar Connection. We really appreciate you guys giving us a listen. Please leave a like and a subscribe. And also leave a like down below. Oh, I already said the like. Sorry, I'm losing my mind a little bit. Like and subscribe to the video. Leave a comment if there's anything that you want, any stories you want us to cover, or if there's any games that you want us to play. The best way to watch us, obviously, is YouTube because it's the video podcast. But for all of our audio-only listeners, we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. And also check out our socials. We now have a X handle. I'm gonna call it X.
No, Twitter.
I know
Shut
you
up.
did. But yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, so just a quick reminder, we are on Twitter, not X. You can follow us at Two Bar Podcast. We do post episodes on there every once in a while. We will post up some memes, some good memes, right? Like in particular, Concord, which is very timely here. Once again, thanks to you guys for listening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Peace.
Bye, everybody.